Hello, this is Arnold. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to look at firing your employer. Just a little bit background information. Employers do use certain terms that in actual sense don't really embody what those words stands for 100%. One such term is a permanent position. When one gets a job, you might be told, oh, this is a permanent position. But then that is only true owing to certain factors. One being the effort that you as an employee you'll put in keeping the job. So those are some things that probably as an employee you might have control over, but then there's certain things that you might not have control over. And that would be probably things like economic forces. There might be a recession, and what you're told is permanent then changes drastically. They might change the terms due to factors like that. And there's one eventual thing that would make the position not permanent, and that is retirement. So to me, retirement is just a nice way of an employer sending the employee home. And the moment one becomes an employee, then retirement is something that an employee will eventually have to face. Thus, as an employee, there exist a lot of hoops that one has to jump from time to time, which if one manages to jump for a number of years, then comes the ultimate one, which the employee cannot jump, and that is retirement. So basically, as an employee, the moment you become an employee, there are certain things that you have to meet. They could be the job the job targets, which that's fine. You know, the targets help you grow, and there are a lot of hoops that you might have to jump in addition to the job targets and all that. It could be varied. It could be probably office politics. You name it. It's a lot of hoops to jump, and as we've seen, you'll eventually get fired. You'll eventually get retired at the end of it all. I'm not saying that to dampen anybody's spirit. I'm not saying that to say that being employed is bad. But then there is the real thing that happens at the end, which is being retired. Most of the people, as we know, this is something not new to anybody. You know, we go to work in order to be able to support ourselves, and the thought of one day waking up and not having a job, that is the most nerve-wracking thing that anybody has to go through. And we have families to take care of. We have people who are depending on us. But what then happens that, as when you go to that job every day, your employer, yes, they might also be doing the same things as to maintain their family. But one thing is a fact that they are your employers. They as the employers are in a better position than you when it comes to being able to take care of their employees. They might not have anybody who might fire them and tell them, hey, you don't have a job. What then happens when you're told that you don't have a job, but then you have a family to take care of? And with each, therefore, with each day as an employee, one's goal therefore should be to beat the employer at it. You want to not allow the employment system to eventually fire you. One needs to, on a day-to-day basis, to make conscious steps to fire their employer. You want to fire your employer before your employer gets a chance to fire you. So a couple of things then came in mind. That is time management. As an employee, the most productive part of your day will be spent at the job. Even though you will be left with the less productive part of your day, as an employee, my goal, therefore, would be to use such time, the time that I'm left with, on working on my own dream working on my own dream, rather than staying there defeated, staying there so much exhausted at the end of the day that I don't have any energy left to work on my dream. Then comes another thing that might be pushing you, and that would be the second reason, which is having an ever growing why. So the thought of probably not being able to provide for your family could be your why. The thought of waking up one morning and and being told, "Hey, you no longer have a job." It could be for reasons beyond the employer's beyond the employer's control, such as economic factors. So the the why, as to your why, needs to keep growing day and day. That this is what would be kicking your butt, to use such a term. It is the reason why you're looking forward to the day when you will no longer have to sell your time to an employer at an amount which they see fit. The employer determines what they pay you. So basically, you're selling your time at an amount that they're the ones calling the shots on. They determine how much they are buying your time for. So your why is the reason why you will no longer need to sit down and let the employer tell you when to take a vacation, what time to come to work, what time to take a break, how you should dress, while doing all the above, while just paying you a sufficient amount that will enable you to come back tomorrow. It would be a good thing though if an employer can, after working for even 10 years, you say, okay, I've been for all these 10 years, I've been paid enough. I don't need to work for the next 10 years. But then they'll keep paying you, they'll keep paying you just enough so that you can come back tomorrow. And one thing is that after they pay you enough just to come back tomorrow, after a couple of years, they're gonna eventually send you home. They're gonna eventually retire you. And if your why is not strong enough to enable you to fire your employer, then you'll keep your employer happy until they eventually let you go. If your government is well organized, then they'll give you sufficient money to keep you alive as they look forward to the day you'll die, so as to free up some of the cash that they have to spend in keeping you alive. Governments all over are happy to reduce their expenses, and with one less person to pay, that would be something positive for them. And so, how about firing your employer before they beat you at it, which then 100% of the time will make you not become dependent upon your government. You get to retire when you want to retire, and you basically have your livelihood within your control. Of course, if you're a believer, we know that God is the one who keeps us alive and provides for us. And one thing is that we have a God that has given us the capability. God did not create some people to be employers and some people to be employees. We all have the same capability. So how about putting all your capabilities into use and becoming what, as a believer, God wants for you, which is for us, He views all of us equal in His eyes. There's no employees, there's no employers. We're all equal. Therefore, that tells me that just the same way as there could be an employer, I could also be an employer. So with that, we come to the end of this video. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.